I started Steinberg Law out of initially out of frustration for working for somebody and realizing rather quickly that I was good at generating business and working files and making money for other people, but I wasn't getting reaping the benefits of that, right? And I think that's not like an uncommon story. I think a lot of people go through that in their career. You work for somebody, I think that I was meant to do this, and that's kind of what drove me, is like not feeling appreciated where I was, and that sort of like fire in my belly to do more. I worked with a few companies doing social media, and I would say that the last company I worked with before hiring eLuminate was just that I felt like it was very repetitive. I felt like it wasn't very creative. I felt like if we ever did video content, that it was really just low quality and sort of like putting things out there that should have been said, hey, you know what? I don't think we should play this. This doesn't put you in the best light, kind of a situation, standard graphics, kind of the stuff that engagement wasn't there, and it was clear why, so I always had a presence, at least for the past 8 years, but I needed something more, and I needed more engagement. There's no secret about the fact that I'm not a shy person. I don't mind being in front of a camera, and I personally find a lot of lawyer advertising to be boring and to almost be like white noise at this point. I mean, how many commercials and posts do you have to see about, we will fight for your rights, and they're standing in front of a courthouse. You and I've had this conversation many times. So it's like, I think that a lot of my posts that we do also, are informative, and I'm more serious, but yet educational. But I think that people really do respond better to showing your true personality, and clients seeing that, like, hey, this guy's not just like telling us what everybody else is. He's kind of delivering it in this way that, like, he's not taking himself too seriously. And the fact that I have that content plus the stuff there where people can really say, hey, this guy does know what he's talking about, it makes me a person. And I think that's lost, today.
I love that. That's perfect. Have you had people respond to your content, clients, peers, other attorneys? Any specific reactions or comments that stand out?
Absolutely. I had a buddy text me last week, really good friend that I've known since law school, and he's like Steinberg. He's like, I love your social media posts, and he's like, and you know why I love them? And I'm like, why? He's like, because it's you. He's like, it's really just, it's you. Like, these are things that, like, I can see you saying and feeling, and it's like, he's like, they're not like, I can tell that, this is you talking and not someone giving you a script. And I've had others just generally say to me, like, I see your stuff on social all the time, and I just love it. Clients, the ones that are already clients, yeah, like we've talked about, it's not going to be like all the time that somebody's going to get in an accident, go on Facebook and call you, right? But I think by having that catchy content, it sort of just works in that whole big piece of the puzzle that gets people to call you, right?
So we did talk a little bit about maritime law, and since we started focusing on that content, you did notice that you had some more cases coming in. Is there any way you can give me like any sense of the increase or more calls, consultations, cases around that, since we did focus on that?
Yeah, there's no other way to say it other than like, it's been like a 300 or 400% increase. And I think that the clear issue is that we weren't putting enough of the word out there that we do this. But if you have somebody in Palm Beach who does it, and there's not a lot of lawyers doing it, but people don't know you're there, that's a problem. And since we've been doing the campaign, whether it's the campy stuff or the serious stuff, it's been incredible. We've also been adding keywords on the SEO front too. And I think those two in conjunction have been really, really successful. Like, people are now like, oh, this guy does cruise ship cases. And it's not just the people getting injured, it's other law firms and other PI law firms are like, we don't take those cases. So it's been great. It's been great. And, and I know, where I'm coming from, that it's all branding, right? All of this is branding, and all people like seeing me and my law firm enough to call me. But, yeah, I mean, I think just the buzz of my peers, other professionals, lawyers, even clients saying, I love your posts on social media. They're great. There's so much, there's just so refreshing compared to what we see in other people. So I think that's been the biggest change, is like the cruise ship cases, the maritime cases. Yes. And I also just think the buzz, I mean, buzz is what you want, right? And buzz is what I'm getting. So
yeah,
reason you hire any contractor, any vendor, right, is because you don't want to personally work on that. I don't have an in-house person doing that, and I've made a decision not to, right? So yeah, it's definitely saves me time, whether it's you or I'd rather it save me time with somebody doing the job well, though, as opposed to what was going on before. And, clearly we're happy with your work, and it's nice to not be doing it. But if your personal injury, if you're not doing everything like I'm doing, then you're dead, right? You're just no one knows where you are, doesn't know who you are, but I mean, I think, honestly, I think everybody should benefit from it. Like, I think that if you think it's a waste of time and it's a waste of your money, you're wrong. In fact, it is the best bang for your buck. I mean, people are spending millions of dollars on pay-per-click, on LSAs, on I don't know. There's so much things, and I'm spending money on social. Obviously, I'm paying your company, but compared to what you're paying for pay-per-click and LSAs and buying leads, this is really the cheapest way, bang for buck, to get your name out there. And it would be, if you're not doing anything, at the very least, you should be doing social. I have been through lots of vendors. That. I have been through a lot of SEO companies. I have been through a lot of social media companies. Shit, I've been through a lot of employees, right? But okay, so, and I don't know if I can curse on this, but I'm doing it. So, but to me, what's different is that a lot of people previously can't deliver what they tell me they're going to deliver. Like, everybody says they put this like beautiful shiny package on a platter and say, this is what you're going to get. And so while you're not sitting there saying, hey, Brett, we're going to get you more cases, you're telling me you're going to get me more engagement, and you're getting me more engagement. If there's something I don't like, and I'm transparent and communicate it with you and Rachel, you pivot, and and so that's honestly, like, that's the world to me, right? Is that, like, you're not over promising and under delivering, but you're delivering what I need to be delivered. And if you're not, you're pivoting. And that's, I mean, listening to your clients is probably one of the single most important things you can do. And I can tell you that you do that. It's great working with you. I hope that you continue to deliver the service, and the quality of product that you have been, so we can work together for a while. And I think if anyone has any doubt about, hiring you after hearing me speak, well, you're just, you're not listening.